Hi, I'm Mark, and I stream games about once a week on Twitch on our channel, twitch.tv/MMAJCHER, M Major, that's my last name. And we are currently on episode 20 something of a game of The Between, but usually around once a month we have someone who's out, so we do a filler game. So this week we're going to finally uh, I'm finally going to get to play Stevenson Baker's game, The Wizard's Grimoire, which is a role-playing game that has one player and two GMs basically, and I've been super excited to play it for a while. I have not gotten a chance to, and we're going to do that tonight on stream. Thing is, I don't have a character sheet online I can use. I have the PDF, which is cool and looks really nice. But we usually use online character keepers. So we use a Google spreadsheet to share with everyone so everyone can see everyone's characters, what their abilities are, change their status. It's great. A lot of cool things. A lot of people, especially on the Gauntlet. If you know the Gauntlet, if you don't know the Gauntlet, get to know them. It's great. GauntletRPG.com, gauntlet-rpg.com, and they have a ton of play aids, literally hundreds of online character keepers for literally hundreds of games, I think. I can link that in a description, I'm sure. And but they don't have everything. And one of the cool things is that the community one of the cool things is that the community is who builds it. And since I'm part of that community, I've built a bunch of character keepers in the past. So I'm just going to go ahead and build one for the game tonight. Game's in about 3-ish hours, so it doesn't take too long. I'm going to go through the process, talk it through a little bit, so it might take a little bit longer than usual. It's not going to be anything fancy. I'll get really fancy and really cool. Um, but yeah, so let's take a look at what that looks like, I guess. So here we are with a blank slate. This is the game here. It's the Wizard's Grimoire. It's like I was saying, two players, no, two GMs, one player. And I'm going to go through and make a character sheet for it. Basically, you're a wizard and you're going to do some wizard stuff. Clearly more to it than that. But what I'm going to do is go through the game. I've read it before a couple times. It's been a while. So I'm actually going to do a combination of reading through the game a little bit and looking at the character sheet that we already have and figuring out the character keeper from there. So the character sheet that we already have is pretty cool. If I get this over here, there we go. So there's a few handouts, like literally this is all that the two GMs need to know, this one page. This is the character sheet. So you've got a name and pronouns, qualities, which are your stats, ambitious, bold, cunning, and virtuous, and you decide those by answering some questions, which we might do something fancy with in a little bit. Some achievements and stuff, and basically here are your roles that you need to do, and the entire rules. So this looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward, and I'm just going to jump into it and see what it looks like and kind of just talk my way through it, mumble and jumble through. So here we go. I use Alfred on my Mac, which is a cool file searchy manager utility thing. You can make your own shortcuts and stuff. One of the shortcuts I made, because I use it all the time, is making new Google Documents and spreadsheets. So if I just say noosh, it'll give me a new spreadsheet, and it's window. I'm going to bring it over here. And here we go. Cool. So here's my untitled spreadsheet. It's going to be the Wizard's Grimoire character keeper. And when you make your character keeper, you're almost always going to be making a copy of it. So I always say template as a just to remind myself to make a copy instead of that. So let's take a look at what we need to do here. Name. So in a lot of games that we play, we have multiple characters. So you'll often see Let me actually show you the character keeper from our between game. Here we go. So this is super super nice. It's a little bit big on the screen, but we've got all our characters here. They've got all the stats, all their abilities and stuff, all the threats and mysteries. All of you can keep track of places. Here's all the unseen stuff, which is great. A lot of games have reference things. We have all our safety tools built in, which are super important, especially when you're playing online with folks, especially with new folks, and just some overall information about the game. This one's made by Arctosaur, who is amazing and has lots of great character keepers. Check them out. But yeah, so what I'm going to be concentrating on here is one character because that's really all we keep track of in this game. So it's going to be a lot less complex than this. And it's not going to be as pretty to start off with. So let's just get some basic stuff set up. So name and pronouns, great. And here we go. Find the right window. I'm just going to start writing and make it pretty later. So this is our character's name. Normally in a multiplayer setup, we'll have player name and character name. And in this case, we just have one character for one player. I'm just going to make it simple. And their pronouns. Pronouns. Great. What else do we have? Qualities. So and this is how I usually start. Super ugly, super just get all the information on the screen and then start fiddling around it and making it look. So here are our qualities. And I'm just going to mimic some of the look and language from here. It's always nice when a character keeper kind of looks like the game or mirrors the game that we're doing or that you're playing. So I'm going to say your name or pronoun. The game has this like personal kind of second person tone because it's addressed to one person. Oh, I'm so popular. That's my group talking about what we're gonna do. Yeah, so I'm just gonna copy a lot of the wording instead of just making it. So your quality. You can see my cool. So this is when you're making the characters, you're answering questions and stuff. Tally, final tally. I'm gonna keep this here for now. I don't know if it's gonna be important for the keeper, but it might be. So I'll decide that later on. Ambitious, bold, cunning, and virtuous. Awesome. Always nice when stats alphabetical. So I think, well, I'm just gonna make it like this for now. And final tally. Probably gonna move these around. And of course we're gonna later on. Wow. Cool. Unlocked acts of magic and achievements. And I think this is gonna be a kind of freestyle large area. The rules, I'm gonna just copy and paste the rules into another tab right now. Which means I should probably name this tab character. This is rules. It's not all of it. And I'm going to do Command Shift V because if I don't, I'm going to get all the formatting there that I don't necessarily want. So this is unformatted rules just to get that text in there. Cool. So, and the rest is just going to be, yeah. So I think these are calculated roles. You need to go through the rules to double check. But this is where spreadsheets are going to be cool because I can use spreadsheets to make stuff work automatically. So let's do that. And even though it's going to be formatted differently, I'm going to put this in another thing. So emphatically. You study and understand a person. And so that's going to look like virtuous +1. So I'm going to take final tally here. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger just so I can fuss around a little bit. So these are gonna be the scores, and I'm just gonna real quick. Well, let me just put some numbers in. Well, okay. Here's the thing. I don't know how the tallies are made yet. I'm just gonna put in numbers to make it so I can do some math on something that's something, and then we'll backfill it and do some spreadsheet magic. So to understand a person is going to be your virtuous plus one. So I'm just going to refer to that cell, refer to virtuous at 1, 9 plus 1, and 0 is 1. Change that. It changes. Great. Spreadsheet is magic. Magically. And this is to perform acts of wizardry. And this is just going to start at 1. And I think this is a number that you manually change throughout the game. Again, haven't read the rules in a little while, so we'll find that out. I'm going to copy paste these acts of magic. Should probably be boring to watch. So I'm going to put them. I'm going to put them over here right now. Can I put them in the rule sheet? Oh no, I'm going to leave these here. So these are basically your spells, more or less. They work not like you're probably used to in other games in this game, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we'll get to those when we get to them. Mentally. And this is, yeah, cool. To study and grasp the situation. I'm going to start copy pasting. I'm sorry. I apologize. Typing is typing. And that is going to be, well, you know, I'm going to do all these in a row first. You don't have to do them one by one. So mentally, physically, subtly, violently. Let's see if I can remember that. Mentally, physically, how do you spell that? Subtly, and violently, and submit to circumstance. Oh, that sounded like a weird. Oh yeah, that's not the kind of oh yeah. I meant like this is a juicy part of the game. And notes. We'll leave notes for somewhere else. So let's go back here. Physically, against the mass momentum, uncooperative or unsensible thing. All right. Let's start. Well, I'm just gonna continue to do this. Format it. This is to pass through your environment unnoticed or to take action unmarked. And I didn't put these against an enemy. Enemy is capitalized. And this is instead of exerting yourself, you are just trying to not get wrecked. So yeah, awesome. So those are the descriptions of those from there. Okay, so now we're going to be doing a little bit more math, spreadsheet math. Highest tally plus 1. So just for testers, I'm going to do some random numbers here. Cool. So I want this to be the highest of those, highest tally, plus 1. So I want this to wind up to be 6. How do I do max? I'd probably do max of a range, right? I don't know if this is a... Well, she's my bet it is. I type max. Hey, yeah, look at that. So this is going to be max of... Yeah, cool. Has auto-filled that for me. Fantastic. And I want it to be max of that plus. That's 6. Fantastic. So if I get an 8 over here, 38, that'll be 39. Great. Fantastic. Cool. So bold plus cunning, minimum 2. So this is going to be bold plus cunning. It's going to be bold, cunning, 8. And so this is going to be a minimum of 2. So make these 0 and 1, right? So we want that to be a 2 instead of a 1. So probably want to do some more here. I'm going to say minimum. And it's going to be minimum value of what we had before. And 2 is going to be our minimum value. And so that should be a 2 instead of 1. Mm, minimum of 2. Nope. It has to be, sorry. Let's go back here. So, minimum, I want it to be the max instead because I want it to be a higher number. So either 2 or the higher number. It was just max. Great. And this is why I test out with fake numbers because it's really easy to make assumptions and screw yourself when I do that intentionally. So this is same thing, ambitious plus cunning. So I'm just going to copy and paste that formula because we are using ambitious and cunning. And so instead of D7 plus D8, it's going to be 6. And I can type the numbers in here instead of selecting it. So what was it? Ambitious and cunning. Cunning. So great. Minimum 2. And let's just make sure that works. Awesome. And I think violently was bold plus cunning maximum 4. So that's where we want to use the min function. So whatever the if the total is higher than 4, we want it to be 4. If the total is lower than 4, we want it to be the total. So this is first bold. Oh, so let's just do min because it's going to be the lower of the values, and we want it to be min 4 or our bold plus cunning. So that's 7 plus 8. I feel like I could do some, if I needed to, I could do some optimization here. I don't need to. These are the same value. Fine. Submit to circumstance is going to be my cunning plus my virtuous. So that's an easy cunning, virtuous. And there's no minimum or maximum on those. And honestly, I can play with this. Right? This is fine. So now all I need to do is format it. And boy. And we will let's just do that now. So these are nice. I'm not gonna look at what they are. I can open up an Adobe. I'm just gonna pick some nice things. So your name is pretty important. Make it an 18. Great. And I'm gonna do some fun stuff here. I'm gonna give us another column over here, another row. And I'm gonna use these for borders around the whole thing. And I will, when I'm done with this, I'm gonna put another column in there for a thick border. But I think I'm just gonna put a border on the A column and the one row, so the character sheet will look like it has a nice little border around. Nothing as nice as this, of course, but yeah. Instead of a character, we are a wizard because that's what it says over here. So we have all this stuff. I'm just gonna format this so it looks nice to me, and yeah, we'll go from there. So one of the things that come across when you're making character keepers a lot of times is you want a bunch of stuff stacked up vertically, and they are different sizes. So what we have to do is do cell merging and kind of line things up. If you get really ambitious, you just make an entire grid out of this. Just take the entire thing and size it all to the size of one thing, and that way you have a nice regular grid to work on. I tend to not do that. I don't know why. I just tend to go with what we got. And since we're not stacking a bunch of these, so as you saw in the other one, we have the characters next to each other, so we can see them all at a glance. And that means that the character sheets are going to be tall instead of wide. Since we only have one character, I really don't need to do that, I don't think. So I'm going to keep it kind of this way. And so, not having played the game yet and not knowing what is super useful to have, I'm going to just try and use my intuition here and my best. So, first, let's find a sweet font. Ding! You can see all the fonts that I've been using lately. What's a I kind of like what was it? Bitter maybe? But, yeah, that's a nice little font. Okay, so name's gonna be bold 18. I think it's a little blocky maybe for wizard stuff, but spend most of my time on it, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Ooh, the Baskerville, the Libra Baskerville, I think. Yeah, yeah, that's very cool. So name and pronouns, and I'm gonna throw these both. Didn't know fancy and I'm just gonna make everything cool. Already more magical. I'm gonna line these up to the right, and I'm gonna wind up widening these. So your qualities is also gonna be bold and a little bit bigger. I wish one wish I had, if you happen to be a Google engineer, I would love styles on here like we have in Google Docs, I'm gonna make this a little so I could apply consistent styles across. And yeah, let's make this here. Gonna be yeah, that's fine. There, pronouns. Perfect. So this is where I'm probably gonna merge some stuff horizontally. We'll take a look at what that looks like in just a minute. Your qualities. I'm gonna line these up, center them. I don't know. I think so. No, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave them. Man, so hard. I'm gonna leave these like this. I am gonna make them a little bit, give us a little bit of space to work with here vertically. So I'm gonna make these all the same height. Great. And I'm also going to, should also always, I don't know, I hate that everything is bottom aligned by default. I tend to go top, but in character sheets I'll do middles. Um, cool, that's fine. I'm gonna make these bold for now. I'll make them like 12. I'm gonna differentiate these by later on. So these are gonna be horizontally. That's fine. Make these 12s. Maybe make that one. I need to, so I want to contrast these, but these are all going to be sent. And we'll start off with some, we'll start off with some zeros here. I'm not exactly sure where stuff is going to come from, but I think these are going to be a little bit smaller. Still want that final tally not to, that's about, you want them to say, you want to give that a little space to breathe, but we're not going to, well, that's fine. So I will be doing some formatting with background colors just to set stuff off so it doesn't look too bad there. I am going to do my merges here. So I'm going to horizontally merge these so we have some room. So now I can say, you know, my wizard name, I'm a sweet wizard. And I say, I think I want these centered. I definitely want them horizontally centered. I think this can be a 12. Bold. I'm gonna make it a little, not that it's, you know what, I'm gonna make it, I don't want to make it smaller, I just want to make it, and I might do the same for the name. Drop it just a, oops, by the way, drop it just a smidge there, and then we're gonna bump up the Sweet Wizard, and Sweet Wizard, maybe you're not stuck with the ones that are in there. Sweet Wizard, it's bugs me a little bit that these are not same size and they're center aligned, but bugs me a little bit, but we're gonna keep it. Yeah, and see here, I'm not sure about this here, but I'm gonna let it sit for now. And you do some like decorative stuff. One of the things I do want to do is move our acts of magic down here, and I'll make a little table of them down. Boom. And this is where I would love to have some styles because these are all going to be the same. I'm going to make these 14 bold. Great. And I'm going to give myself a big chunk of space here, like 12. And I'm just going to merge this whole area. And let's give it a border. Why not? Let's give it a nice little 1 pixel border. That's going to border the entire thing there. So, acts of magic, I don't need these. What's up? Nothing more exciting than watching someone edit spreadsheets. Great. And these actually, I don't know. I don't, so I want to set them off a little bit. I do want to do these horizontally here. One thing that bugs me is there's a little bit of dead space here. I might do something fun with it. Don't know. Acts of magic, a little bit there. And these, I want to bop a little bit. That. A little bit. Cool. And the reason I put them there, up one. The reason I put them there is, you know what? I need to. Oh, let's make this one more bigger. I think so. I'm settling on 4 columns here. Gonna undo that, make that bigger, and then up that there. It is no longer a box. Bigger box there. Fantastic. Yeah. So this is reference here. Acts of magic. Those are the things that you can do, and if we get more things to do, I want to put them down there. And I put them. These are kind of separate sections, right? This is our main numbers, and feels like numbers are a little bit less. Well, not that they're less important, but they're less emphasized, I guess. So while these are important and upfront, and we're going to need them, all the stuff that uses them is already called out, and I feel like this is maybe a little bit less important after the game begins. Don't know for sure because I haven't played the game yet. But I think I might actually move the rules to the front page because it's nothing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to put them down here for a second. Pop up. And I'm going to get rid of them. Heads up. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to fix that in just in a minute. Again, we're still just straight up black and white here. Not that there's anything. What? How fancy do I want to get? I don't want to get super fancy right now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these boxes. This is not going to look great, but it's fine. I'm going to. So let me talk through this. My usual go-to is using background color to denote different sections. Hey, here's my header. There's nothing wrong with that. Character Keeper doesn't have to be exactly the same. However, this does have a certain look to it, right? Maybe I want to keep it like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add another row below. Get a tiny little row to space that out a little. I could make this row higher, but I feel like this is better for now. Everything's subject to change. This is a separate area here, and I feel like I almost want to. And so here's where the grid has its advantages. If you want to bump stuff a little bit, it's a lot easier. If I want to bump stuff around here, I need to unmerge, merge, all that stuff. I'm going to keep this for now. Right now, it's not super great, but I'm going to fuss with it a little bit. let's see if. So I think I want this part to mirror this part over here. And so I'm just going to copy the here. This is going to be Command Option V on a Mac. So Command Option V, pop, and need it bigger. Great. This is centered just like the other one, and I think I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to give all of these the same formats over there. Great, those are all centered. See, this is, yeah, this is fine. God, the nice design parts here are these lines. These lines here that kind of separate stuff. And not impossible to do. But, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move these up here. They don't need to. Yeah, and then this can get unmerged. And then this, I'm going to go over here. And set this. That doesn't look good. But I'm going to keep it that way for and you'll see why. Maybe. I'm going to throw another column down here so I can work. You know what? Just to keep things consistent. The reason I'm lefting this, make this black. The reason I'm lefting this is I don't want it to flow over here. Although I could, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to make that big. I'm going to just move this column over here instead of adding one, and move it out here, and merge these. Oops, not a line. Merge. Cool. So now this is the size I want, and I can center that. I can change that as needed. This is tied to the size of that. I'm okay with that for now. This is still a little bit weird. That's fine. I'm going to do something to set this part off. Probably just do a line up. And I'm going to do that. Well, I'm just going to do that with a border for now. Not incredibly happy about it, but I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. It's going to be the same size. It's going to be, let's make it a 3. Why not? And we're just going to put a bottom border. Hate it. Make this a little smaller here. You want that at all? I'm going to leave that there just so I can tweak that spacing just a little bit. I want to center these numbers as well. Our calculated numbers. And I think I want to box these up too. Again, not super crazy about them that way, but just to mirror our tallies. And I want to make the give these a 1 instead of a. Fantastic. And we see this a little bit better. These are all sized differently because of where we're at. So I'm going to size them samely. And I kind of want to index off our Acts of Magic here, the biggest one. So, and now we have a little bit more regular size here. So I'm gonna not put a border here. I'm gonna merge that across. I'm gonna copy our format over here. Oops. I'm gonna copy our format over here. Fantastic. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna make this. Yep, I'm gonna make this the same size here. So I'm gonna merge these up. I'm gonna put a border on them, and let's make it wider so we can see everything. Now, here's the thing. I really want to make these wrap, which is gonna make them take up more space, which is not a terrible thing. Let's see what it looks like. There. Ooh, a little bit too big. But good to know. Always double it and then fix it later. A little bit bigger. Yeah, that seems fine. And so again, we're giving this a little bit too much emphasis, I feel like. Maybe switching them around. That'd be good. Moving these ones over here. Moving these ones over here. Swapping the entire thing. Hmm. 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 I like that. I think I might like that. And it's not, that's not going to fix the spacing stuff here. But I'm going to leave this like this for now, just so I can use it. I'm going to put the rules on the right-hand side over here, I think. I like scrolling to the right. So I'm going to put these over here. And yeah, so these are all... No, I'm actually going to move these. I'm going to move these into a regularly sized area here. I could just make it all one box. Could just make it all one box. Like that. Merge those up. Hey! No, I don't want to do that. Well, you know, I'm just gonna... Maybe, I don't know. No. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put them in a box. So I'm gonna merge these here. Blam. I need to get rid of all there. Uh-oh. Let's get it up to the top where it should be. I'm just gonna grab our rule. This time I'm not going to... Well, am I going to? It has some nice formatting I want to keep. Let's see what it looks like. Top. Top. Not gonna keep. That's fine. So, to start a session. So I'm just gonna do some Bummo formatting here. Cool. Find 2 volunteers. Choose a spawning circumstance. So I'm gonna option in return to get some more stuff in here, to get some space. Stuff super specific. And there. Let's make this our font here. Beaver Baskerville. Great. I need this to up. Digga digga. And that fits just fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Put a little header here that says play. Line that and cross here. And a bit bigger. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. I'm gonna bump this font up a little. Not the whole thing, just this. And I think I'm going to myself a little bit here, maybe here. Maybe that's a little fantastic. And I'm not going to box it up or anything. So I have my volunteers. They are ready tonight. Dances. A big word, Vincent. In big, like, in the format here. Circumstance. There we go. And then I got an orphan out again. I don't know. Let's tighten it up again. Play orphan out of there. Come on. In play. Great. As long as the exert yourself. So I can always look at our rules over here. I've got 2 volunteers. I'm going to choose a spawning circumstance. I'm going to get into trouble and maybe get out of trouble. And basically, I'm going to ask my 2 other players, who are my GMs, basically, my volunteers, questions and do some stuff. And then exert myself. And I'll be rolling these numbers. Roll a number of 6-sided dice, which I'll get with the rating. And these are the ratings. 50-50. I can flip coins, do what I want. I roll no hits, it's a miss, so I just need to get 1 hit. Easy peasy. And So here's the thing. Do I want to turn the grid lines off? Where are they? You show grid lines. Well, that's nice and clean, right? I think I'm gonna make these. I don't want to make them too bad. I need you to let them know. Need to let. Uh, I'm just gonna keep these here for now, and I don't know how tallies work yet. We'll figure that out in play. I don't want to keep this too long. It's almost an hour already. So yeah, I'm fine with this for now. We're going to be doing some tallying in here. I don't know how tally and final tally are different. I'm going to read through the rules between now and then and do that. Yeah, this is totally usable. If this was a multiplayer game, I would stack these up here. So we'd have columns of players. This is a one-player game. This is a character sheet. I can hide some of these, and it looks pretty. You could even, full screen it, right? Not find, full screen. View. It's in the menu. I just collapsed this. View. Awesome. And then there we go. Sweet character sheet. I can have this up in one window. I can have my dice room, roll with me XYZ or whatever, and my zoom in another window. And the other players can see this, or I can share this with folks on stream or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'll read the rules. Maybe I'll update it before the stream. And yeah, let's call this done. So that was a lot of talking and clicking around in a spreadsheet. Super fun. Really simple, relatively. This would normally take about 15 minutes, maybe, without talking through everything. But I wanted to share it a little bit. So here we are. And yeah, maybe I'll do a demo of a more complex one later on. I'm playing some solo stuff now. I want to play Torch in the Dark, which is another solo Forge in the Dark game that would have a character sheet that is for one player. I'm going to look at some games that don't have character keepers yet. I'll look through my list of stuff I want to play that doesn't have those, and maybe go through a multiplayer one, or maybe just talk through making one for a game that already exists. That's interesting. If that is interesting, let me know. If you want to ask for, well, people point down here. If you want to ask for a character keeper that we don't have, go ahead and do that. I'd love that. And yeah, catch us on stream tonight, twitch.tv/MMAJCHER. That's how my name is spelled, M major. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, almost forgot. If you want to play this game and use this character keeper, I'm going to put the links and everything down here, and you can buy the game from Vincent. It's a great looking game. You can use this character keeper. I'll link the Gauntlet character keeper play aids all in there, and yeah, enjoy. Have a good time.